Hello everyone. Today we're talking about human design and we're talking about how a generator goes into relationship with a projector and how a projector goes into a relationship with a generator. We've been together for nearly 5 years now. Kelly's a generator and I am a projector. So we want to talk about how we actually came into relationship, because a lot of people are like, well, I'm a projector, so what, do I just have to wait for some elusive invitation for someone? Especially maybe if you're a guy. You know, if you're a guy and you're a projector and you're like, well, normally guys invite the women into a relationship. Am I supposed to just hang around and wait for some beautiful woman to come and just invite me? You know, that often might not be the case. So we thought we'd explain how we came into relationship, and we feel like it was very much aligned with human design, Kelly being a generator and actually responding, and me being a projector waiting for that real recognition and that invitation. So this is Kelly, my partner.
Hey everyone.
And how did we meet for the first time?
So we met in Bali at the yoga barn at a Sunday ecstatic dance. This was the very first time that we met. And to be honest though, the way we met, it was like a magical dance of attraction. So we had seen each other at this dance from afar, and there was just something that was very, very powerful there, pulling each other in. And there was a lot, you know, being a generator, and my sacral response, which is very intuitive from the gut, I was feeling a lot of sensation when I saw Charlie. And the biggest thing I noticed is that he was very present. You know, we made eye contact, and sometimes when you make eye contact with someone, maybe it lingers and then the person looks away, or then they move and they don't really see it through. And there was just something so magnetic about the way we were connecting, and I felt he was like there. And he wasn't going anywhere, and I really had the time to find my response. And I'd kind of look away and look back, and he was just there. And I'm like, wow, this guy's like, he's not moving. Like, he's really, I felt pretty able to respond and able to feel that connection and really see how that felt in my body and in my heart. I didn't know at the time that that's what I was doing, but having the awareness now, I can see that's what was happening.
I remember one time after the dance, so I was aware of Kelly, and I remember sitting there. Everyone was sort of leaving. There's 150 people in this big open dance floor. It's quite magical, and everyone was leaving, and I knew where Kelly was, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, you know, gaze over and see what she's doing and see what she's up to, and just see if there will be some connection or communication there or not. And I remember sort of looking over, and I knew she was at the drink fountain about 10 meters away, and I looked over and she was looking straight at me, and I was like, oh, I've been caught. I've been caught. So I was like, oh, okay. And then what happened is our energies just sort of danced. Kelly actually was talking to someone else, but she was right there, and she said afterwards she was very aware that I was right there. So our energies were dancing, but I wasn't getting any direct invitation, and you know, there wasn't a huge response for Kelly to really come over and initiate. It felt like our energies were dancing at a very sort of subconscious level. Our auras were really allowing. I was sort of diving in and feeling Kelly out, and Kelly was in a way drawing me in, and she feels like, you know, I was drawing her in as well. So our auras were definitely coming together.
We actually didn't even talk that day. We didn't introduce each other. We didn't find out each other's names. We did actually all sit at a table. There was about 12 of us for lunch after the dance. And I remember being so aware of Charlie's energy. I didn't know his name was Charlie. This guy's energy. But letting my body, like, the response wasn't there yet. And I could feel him. I could feel his vitality. I could feel his energy and his presence. And I knew there was something there. And it was like I was going through this process. And we didn't even speak. And then he went off, and I was like, I wonder if I'm going to see him again. And there was a sense of satisfaction around that. Like, oh, yes. Not like I need to see him and find him, but wow. Then I had a sensation like, yes, I'd love to see this guy again.
And being a projector, it's all about timing. And when you get that invitation, it's like life saying it's the right timing. And I felt I didn't get an invitation then. So I just felt, you know what, I'm going to just keep going. I'm still in Bali for a while, and I'm just going to move on. And I was going to meet a few people, and away I went. And then I was in the jungle, and I was running up the hill into where there's holy water. There's a massive waterfall. It's a very sacred, spiritual place in the middle of the jungle, 2 or 3 hours north of where we danced. And
this is about a week and a half later.
so this is a while after. And ran up the hill, and there was Kelly, lying on a rock. And she'd just done a special ritual to bring in a man, and then I'm running up the hill. There's quite a lot of synchronicities playing out. Our auras were very magnetized to each other, you would say. And we spoke because we'd seen each other at the dance, and then I see this woman on the rock, a couple of hours north of Bali, Ubud, and I'm like, hey, I know you. And we actually have a little bit of an interaction. And then the next time we see each other was a few days later, back at the dance. So it was like a week or two later, the next dance, and that's where we were.
Yeah. And that's where I think the response had this full time to gestate and to come forth. And I was at this dance, and because when I saw Charlie at the waterfall up north, for me there were so many confirmations, because it's about responding to life. So I sent this request out to life, calling in a man, a masculine, to meet me, and my feminine, and to dance with and explore. And then literally not even 5 minutes later, Charlie comes running up the path. And it hit me. I was like, wow, that's like an from life. That's like a yes. And then we spoke a little, and I kind of asked him, are you going to go to the dance again? And I went to the dance that following Sunday, and I could feel that Charlie wasn't there. I could actually feel it in my body, because there's so many people in this room, 100 people more. And I couldn't see him, and I couldn't feel him. And then about 30 minutes in, this energy rippled through my body in the dance. And I was like, wow, like, what happened? And I look across the room, and I see Charlie there, dancing and like just totally in his bliss, in his joy, in his power, just going wild dancing. And I was, this electric current just burst through me. And I had to get closer, so I actually positioned myself so that I would be in his eye range, but not too close. And I kind of, with my intention, I was like, I want him to see me. I want us to see each other here. And we caught eyes, and my body was like such an I did not want to break eye contact.
So,
and, yeah.
As a projector as well, I was just in my joy.
Yeah.
I was in my bliss. I was filling my container up. I'd been dancing for weeks. I'd been doing meditation. I'd been doing yoga. I'd been doing Vipassana. I'd been into the jungle. I'd been so close to nature. I was around beautiful people, beautiful support, lots of music. I was full. And in that radiance, I had the ability to, or my aura did, draw in some form of invitation. And Kelly responded to me being in my bliss. So she had a big response, as she just mentioned. And I was aware of Kelly as well. So I'm sort of like dancing around, dancing with a few different people, just like, and this is a daytime dance, so it's just everyone's different ages, everyone's just having fun. And, I'd scan across and I'd catch Kelly's eyes, and Kelly was just straight in, and I almost couldn't look away. I was like, whoa, is that, maybe this woman does this to everyone? Like, maybe she's just a really just open human being, and, because I'm very, with females, I don't want to come across in a negative way. I'm not at all, sleazy, or I don't flirt very much or anything. So it's not me to sort of dance into many people's energies and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh, maybe like she does that. And then I sort of looked away, and I was like, well, that was really powerful. Okay, and I was just sort of dancing around, and then I sort of just glanced back again, and her eyes were like, doof. And it was like this vortex, and something in me was like, oh, wow, I'm sort of being sucked over there, and I think I have to actually go over there. And it was this physical, like, pulling of my aura, and that was the invitation. Like, Kelly was like, and her aura, like, open and enveloping. She was literally enveloping me in, and that was my invitation. And I went over there, and we danced, and the rest is history. And so it's a unique invitation. You know, it wasn't an invitation where you wrote me a postcard or something and said, I invite you to be in a relationship with me. It wasn't some hopeful invitation where a person like walks past and you're like, oh, maybe life's inviting me because that person walked past. But to me, it was a clear, energetic, auric invitation. Like, boom, I recognize you, I see you, and I invite you to come over here. And it was like, this just powerful. And I went over there and it was this magical dance for 4.5 days in Bali. And then we came back to Australia and the rest is history. Is there anything else you want to mention about the story and how that works and the response and the recognition and invitation of generators and projectors? And this is just our personal experience. There can be so many different flavors in that, but hopefully by us sharing our experience, you see maybe there's a different way or something unique there. And
I think you nailed it. I think you really shared a lot. And the only part I'd say is there can be so much flow when we honor our unique way that our energy goes about life, and me responding rather than trying to initiate. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else to share, but...
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed that brief sharing from us, and wishing you all the best on your journey. Let us know if you've got any questions below. If you liked that video, big thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.